You've got two choices. Either you let the opportunity to listen to me slip between your hands just like you've been doing since your birth, and you remain as a silent and unnoticed peasant, or you decide to control your fucked up brain not to run towards its next dopamine craving, and you finally make some good use out of your time. With that being said, my friend, 39 new millionaires will be built through this video, and I truly hope that you'll be one of them. I am not gaining a thing by sharing this knowledge with you, but if I end up posting this, I truly hope, for the sake of you, your family, and your future generation, that you're gonna take notes and apply. Because you've simply got absolutely no idea how much what I'm going to tell you is going to change the trajectory of your life. You've truly got it easy in this day and age. It took millions of back and forth letters 100 years ago for a man to gain the same amount of wisdom that you're about to gain right now in the next 10 minutes. What I've just told you should piss you off, because you've got it all today and you're still a fucking nobody. Anyways, today is your chance, my brothers and sisters. Listen closely. Who are you? Who's the person watching this video? Who are you being day in and day out? You see, the truth is that you're simply not able to describe who you are. And just like my mentor Bob Proctor said, he said, you're not your name and you're not your body. You're an infinite consciousness, an infinite energy. And I guess it's from this statement from Bob that I shall add that our infinite consciousness living inside of this body, which is nothing more than the manifestation of who you are choosing to become day in and day out. Now, you see, the issue in this day and age is that nobody chooses what and who they want to become, but instead they remain as a prisoner of their subconscious mind. You are simply not where you want to become yet because of two reasons. Number one, your subconscious mind, my friend, has you by the neck with a leash, and it drags you places. Now, do you know where it drags you, my friend? It unfortunately drags you in the same exact place that it dragged you yesterday, and the day before that, and the day before that. So take notes of this next phrase. Your subconscious mind is a pattern recognition machine with the goal to emphasize those patterns. If it sees you being continuously depressed, it labels your depression as a pattern, something that has happened in the past repetitively and therefore should be emphasized in the future. That is exactly why you will be waking up depressed at the beginning of your week, and each and every single day that goes by, you can just feel this crumbling and domino effect bringing you further and further down into misery. Now, do you know why? Because it trusts you and the patterns that you show it, and therefore emphasizes those patterns with, again, the faith that you chose to show it, the right one, the right pattern. It trusts you. Therefore, the reason that you aren't a millionaire yet is because you chose to show your subconscious mind the wrong patterns, and therefore you're brought into the wrong direction. But here's where the subconscious mind is a double-edged sword. It won't just bring you in the wrong direction, but it will gain momentum in the wrong direction. It won't just bring you in the wrong direction and leave you there peacefully, no. But it will act as a platform on top of our head, continuously pushing you down faster and faster and faster with aggression towards the wrong direction. It will emphasize it. You truly want to see the subconscious mind not only as a scope, right, that zooms into a direction and then stays there, but basically as an infinite elevator with no ceiling and with no floor that gains speed and momentum as it goes up or as it goes down. That is the danger of not being able to put a leash onto your subconscious mind. If you slip, my friend, it'll drive you into misery, and it will put you deeper and deeper into misery by the day. Anyways, I've had enough scaring you. Let me show you now the positive side of the equation. Have you ever had the chance to listen to some sort of success story, right? The success story of a famous entrepreneur, right? Or celebrity, or the success story of someone that wanted to make it big and made it happen. Have you had the chance to listen to a success story of that form? They all have one thing in common. They say this. They say once it started to click, once it started happening, it all happened so fast. I wasn't even realizing what was happening to me. Now, you see, the truth is that any human who's done ridiculously well like myself will be able to tell you that once it starts, once it clicks, once that the momentum starts and your subconscious projects you towards that direction, it happens very, very, very fast. You will not be able to see it happen. Why? Because you're being elevated by your subconscious mind, which has no ceiling and gains momentum and power as it goes. The second reason now, as per why you aren't who you want to become yet, is you do not know who you want to become. You are not capable to show the subconscious mind the direction. Instead, here's what you're doing. You're freestyling through life. You're going with the flow. Now, let me ask you this. When you are in the ocean, do you know what's the one and only thing going with the flow in the entire ocean? It is a dead fish. A dead fish. Only the dead fish will go with the flow of the ocean. Therefore, by waking up and unconsciously going with the flow, my friend, you are not far different from a dead fish. Now, here's what I want you to do. Create this being that you want to become. Create it and be specific, most importantly. Who is that being? You need to give it life, man. You need to give it life. Figure it out. How does he walk? How does he talk? How does he dress? Who is that being? How does he act? What time does he wake up in the morning? All right? You got it. You've got to think of all of those questions. Who is that person? I will give you 5 seconds to think about it, because in 3, 2, 1, you are not going to be ready for what I'm about to tell you. You need to become this person. The being that you've got in mind, you simply need to become this person. Reason number 3, you've continuously failed to become, to transform, and to manifest because you keep living through the consciousness of a being that you do not like. Who's a victim over here of saying, I will be a success? I know it, right? I'll be a success. I know it. I might be and living through circumstances that I'm not proud of in the current present moment, but nonetheless, it's okay. I will be a success. I know it's coming. All right? You've said that before. And I know for a fact that all of you are a victim of that. And yet I also know that 90% of you are listening saying, wait, what's so bad about that, right? What's so bad of being full of faith? Well, that is trap number 1. By stating that you are going to become a success, mentally you're affirming that the current patterns that you're on are not the ones of a successful being. Therefore, your subconscious mind will keep projecting you into the direction of a man who is not a success yet. What needs to be done, which is in correlation with reason number 2, is that you've got to shed like a snake into the being that you want to become in order to have your subconscious mind project you into the direction of the being that you want to become. Oh, but Nicholas, how am I going to go ahead and turn myself into this being if I don't have my Lamborghini? If I don't have this? If I don't have that? How am I going to turn into this being? How can I become him? You do not need a Lamborghini. You do not need the money. In fact, you do not care about the Lamborghini. You just care about how it makes you feel, which is confident, proud of your person. Now, the truth is that you can reach this state of confidence and appreciation towards yourself, right? Without the fucking Lamborghini. You can hop onto the man's frequency without the Lamborghini because you can obtain the feeling right now. Now, you see, here's where my guidance comes in. People will go ahead and ask me and say, well, Nicholas, look, I understood now why I don't need the Lamborghini to feel like, the man. Because this feeling of confidence can be achieved through many different ways. But, Nicholas, how do I consistently feel? That is the question. Well, here it is. You will have to build, my friend, a series of undeniable facts and proofs that you are becoming the man that you want to become. In fact, let me ask you this. If God signed a contract with you, telling you that in 6 months, you'll become this person that you want to become, and that is a fact, how would you feel? How would that make you feel? I'll tell you how you're gonna feel. You'd just feel like the fucking man. Right or wrong? You'll say, holy shit, I made it, right? God signed a contract with me. I made it. There's nothing else that needs to be done. I made it. Now, the question is, why are you so happy? It is not because God signed a contract with you. It is because you've got faith in God's lecture. You've got faith in God's word. Therefore, here's the next step. You have now been able to understand a couple of things. You've been able to understand that you've got to cross out the old patterns by replacing it with the habits, the mental attitude, and basically everything that comes with that evolved being that you're looking to become. You've then understood that it's a matter of precisely identifying who you want to become in order to draw a clear path for your subconscious mind to follow. And once you've done so, match the frequency of the being that you want to become with consistency and with conviction, as if God signed a contract with you. But there's one last problem, and that is that God didn't sign a contract with you, my friend, and He will never do it either. So how do you live with this conviction as if God signed a contract with you? That should solve it all. And you're right, it should. How do you live with conviction, right? With such a mystical idea in mind, right? The issue is that it goes against your common sense. It goes against your 5 senses. It goes against your logical brain. You see, that could maybe work for a day or maybe a day or two, right? And then it goes. The conviction is gone. So how do we do it consistently? How do we consistently live with this conviction and confidence, which is constantly going to raise our frequency? How do we do it? Here's how. We go back to the beginning. We go back, my people, to what society wants us to ignore. The information, in fact, that keeps this pyramid of power as a stable structure for society to function together. That information, aside from occult teachings, is the fact that we are, in our most natural forms, a simple miracle. Let me ask you this. If you had an illness with one single chance of survival out of 1 million and you survive, would you call it a miracle, right? You absolutely would. Well, now let me tell you this, my friend. Before you started evolving in your own mother's stomach, you had to win a race against 500 million cells just like you. None of you guys had a head start. You, my friend, you were number one. You were number one out of 500 million other competitors and cells like you. Don't you have something special? You are, my friend, the definition of a legend. You are the definition of a winner, of a miracle in its greatest forms. But once you arrived on Earth, in this day and age of capitalism, your subconscious mind has been programmed to emphasize the fact that you are a servant. You are a tool and do not have the power to strive on your own. Your power, my people, has been manipulated. The reason that only a handful of beings run pretty much 90% of the wealth in America is because they've got the subconscious mind of the population on a leash, pushing them higher and higher into the direction that they chose for you. Now, the bad news is they've actually done an absolutely ferocious job. Why? You've got to simply look around. We're surrounded by miracles, by other beings that were the number one as well, but yet everyone feels like nothing. Everyone feels like dust, like they're worthless. But the question I need you to ask yourself is, how? How could this be? How could I be worthless? How? I made it here. I arrived on Earth. My existence is the most natural proof of my greatness. What I am here to make you understand is that if you sign a contract with yourself, stating exactly what needs to be done for you to become the being that you want to become, and you genuinely take the decision, the mature decision, then that would be equivalent to having God signing a contract with you. Wouldn't it be? You've already won a race. You've already won a race where all odds were against you, and you believe that you cannot win the race of freedom when all odds are going with you? A being who has the previous track record of outperforming millions. Imagine if this being takes a mature decision to do something. He's not going to move mountains. He's going to move the galaxy with him. Now, here's what we need you to do. Write the plan. Write the detailed plan. In order for your subconscious to project you into the direction with speed, sign it. Sign this contract and live with the raw, natural, and undeniable conviction behind your track record to outperform millions. Live with it. Live through it. And know it. Do not look right. Do not look left. Don't look at the noise around you. They're made to make you slip. Do not slip. Remain unfazed throughout your journey to success and freedom. And know one thing. Know that a man's success could be measured by two things: his ability to continuously be aware of the game that he's playing, and his ability to remain unfazed by remaining laser focused towards his natural inner potential to outperform and to be remembered. And as always, I will be waiting for you at the top.